Hey, when people talk about the greatest rivalries in the WWE, you and The Rock or you and McMahon always come up, but Stone Cold and Bret Hart is never on these lists, which seemed to go on forever and was really a precursor or a blueprint to a lot of stuff that you and Vince did. Why is this the case? You and Hart were as good as it got, and Hart brought such authenticity to it. Sometimes it was hard to tell what was real between what was real and what was fake. Terrence. I talk about my feud with Bret Hart all the time, and I think maybe the reason I haven't talked about the feud so much is because I focused on the certain matches that we had, like the one in the Garden when he handpicked me to make his comeback at a SummerSlam event, and then of course WrestleMania 13, and I had so many great matches with him over in Germany. But sometimes I forget about the ambulance when they were carrying him off to the hospital. I jumped in there and started beating him up, and Davey Boy and them had to come in there and get me off of him. But I don't know, but that was certainly a very important feud with me and Bret. And yes, you're right. Bret brought so much realism to anything that he did. That's why he's one of my favorite workers of all time. When you go back and you watch some of his matches, well, all of his matches, there's a story there. And sometimes you have more time allotted in a match than you do at other matches that you have on a certain event or television taping. But Bret was one of the best in the history of the business, and I will argue that point with anybody that's ever been in the ring. You get a bunch of top guys talking about some of the best that there ever was, and I'm one of them. Bret Hart is always on my list of some of the best guys to ever lace up a pair of boots inside the squared circle. Was he the flashiest summit in the world? Hell no. But everything he did looked good. If you were watching a Bret Hart match in a bar and the television was over there in a corner and had the music blaring and you're just watching this because you might not even be a wrestling fan, but you're out there drinking beer and you happen to see Bret Hart in there working a match, it's going to look real. And we know pro wrestling's a work, but Bret Hart brought realism to pro wrestling. And that's one of the reasons why I loved working with him, but also just because me and that guy had instant chemistry.